Let's start with the hockey. Ducks and Nashville. No score in that game. 2:47 to go in the first?
Yeah, exactly. 2:47.
I looked up some stats because I was curious as to the advantage that the alleged home ice has in the playoffs. Through the first 66 games this year, 33 home teams have won and 33 road teams have won. In fact, in 2012, 39 home teams won, 47 road teams won. So I don't see where that they talk about that advantage, and I can't see where it's. There may be an advantage. I'm not denying that, but certainly is not overwhelming. Nashville is undefeated at home in the playoffs, 4-0. They've also gone 4-2 on the road. Actually, they've gone 3-3 on the road, but undefeated at home. So the Ducks have that to fight with tonight. Ducks have been 4-1 on the road. So they won 2 in Calgary. They won 2 in Edmonton. So they've proven to be a pretty good road team. So we've got that battle coming up. So let's turn to John for some insight on that.
I wasn't able to watch the first game. I was on a little minute vacation. Vince kind of probably could fill in a little bit about game one, but what I had heard through the rumor mill was a very evenly back and forth type of hockey game. I'd heard that the Ducks actually played much better in the third period, but just wasn't able to get anything going. You're dealing with a really good defenseman there, and a guy Rene who's 6'7", and is playing very good hockey at the moment. So I don't know, Vince, if you want to kind of go into game one. I was at game two, so I can talk a little bit more about game two. But, I think this is going to be, after watching, Sunday's game, I think this is going to be, a big, it's a slug. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be back and forth. So I don't know, Vince, if you want to comment.
Yeah, that first game, it was a lot of what, typically, if you're a Ducks fan, you're thinking, keep it close, come out strong, hit them hard, don't let them get up. But again, the Preds came out, scored early, but the Ducks got it back. The Preds looked like they were sort of in control and taking charge. Yeah. The Ducks' only goal was the goal was on their first shot. Right, so they tied the game. It was I think the first period was 15 shots on goal to 6 Preds over the Ducks, and the Ducks had 1 go in. Which was just a great shot and maybe a little unexpected and caught Rene off guard. And so 1-1, and then Preds go up in the second period, and it looked like the Ducks just weren't quite there. And then the third period was a much better period for the Ducks. They were skating well, and they tied it and sent it to overtime.
I don't think the NHL did them any favors scheduling them to open that series one day after a emotional physical series with.
Yeah, I was interested. It was interesting. I thought it was going to go towards the weekend or maybe start on Monday, but that thing started 2 days later, and that was 7 games of just smash mouth hockey, and I agree. I think they were probably on the weaker side.
Plus the Predators
going
and
the Preds had plenty of time. And, after watching game 2 a little bit, it's exactly what Vince talked about. Is we have trouble getting ahead in the first period. I mean, the last 4 or 5 games, we led 1-0 in the game against the Preds, but then they came back with 2 quick ones. But I think, if I'm right, but we're down 2-0 in a blink of an eye, on Sunday.
Exactly.
But really, the second period, really, we just took charge, and I think it's just going to be one of these things where you're going to have to hit them hard. You're going to have to punch them a little bit and push him up
They're
against
already
the boards.
crying. They're already crying about Kessler.
Yeah, Kessler and the Anderson is a Johansson or whatever going back and forth. It's actually kind of funny. In fact, Kessler was saying today, he was quoted by saying, he's not my friend and he's never going to be my friend, so I could care less what he says.
Exactly.
And, that's typical Kessler, right?
It struck Johansson's. You look, I know he was angry and they put the microphone in his face,
Right.
Right after the game and after a very tough loss, and he'd been taking a beating all game. But come on, Johansson.
Yeah,
grow up here.
exactly,
I mean,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
He kept hitting me in the groin. I don't know how anybody can root for that guy, his friends or his family. It's like, come on.
And then Melrose was so perfect. He's like, this guy's already in his kitchen. Kessler's already got him in his kitchen. He's like, he's already thinking about him.
Done.
But one of the things that I noticed in game 2 is Rene's so big that you can beat him above his shoulders.
Well, that's
now,
what
if you can get it above his shoulders, you can beat him, but he's very good down below. Kind of like Freddie Anderson was the same way, big guy. And, when his legs are down, he's really tough to beat, but it's tough to get his shoulders up.
I
So
saw some quotes after that second game where that's what the Ducks said.
Yeah.
Beat him high.
You have to beat him high, but you got to. It's
too
very
good down
limited.
low.
It's very limited on where you can go, because he's such a big guy. But I just after watching it was just it's going to be tough games from this point on. The second round is never too easy. Third round is never too easy. It's just it is what it is. It's you just can't make mistakes. And one of the goals that we gave away was the Preds are very good on taking advantage of your mistakes. Bad pass, went 1-on-1. Gibson had no chance, and you just can't do that against them. I know that we're going to take some chances to try to get the puck to the wing and try to create space, but if you don't and they pick it off, it's
all over.
We're buried, right? But they have very good defensemen. They're going to be in every single game, and we just cannot make mistakes coming down the stretch, and that's what's going to be. And it was great to see Gibson really step it up with about 6 minutes left. He was swimming like a fish and made some great plays. And that's what it's going to take if you want to go to the Stanley Cup.